Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Right now at 5, wanted, accused of murdering a 5-year-old boy. The announcement from the DA and police chief yesterday on one arrest and who they're now searching for.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47.
For the first time, the top Democratic candidates all on stage together. And the talks spanned everything from guns to health care to backing former President Obama's legacy. We'll break it down and have reaction from our 17 News political analysts.
Monitoring kids on social media, what the Golden State is looking to do to keep kids safe online. This is Friday, September 13th, 2019. Great to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher, and we're heading into the weekend.
Yeah, it is Friday the 13th, and we're starting off this weekend, and it's going to be a little warm out there. Let's check in with Kevin for the first time this morning for a look at your forecast. Good morning, Kev.
Good morning. Yeah, we are going to see a little warm up. We saw it yesterday when we hit this, 94 degrees. That was the high. Short of the record of 108 set back in 1983, though, and then we get a little bit warmer today and into Saturday. 72 right now. We have an easterly wind at 5 as we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast here. Upper 70s by 9 a.m., 87 at 11, and then upper 90s as we progress into the afternoon. For Tehachapi, 46 degrees right now. Grab a light jacket if you're headed out the door. No winds to talk about at this time, and temperatures throughout the afternoon will rise into lower 70s by 9, and then mid to upper 80s expected as we progress into the afternoon. So definitely a little warm up on the way, but there is another cool down we'll talk about. Well, that's coming your way in just a few minutes. But first, we have a check of your morning commute and see how that's looking on this finally Friday, the 13th. Alex.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. And taking you outside for the first time this morning to the 99 near 7th Standard. And as you can see, things are looking pretty good on that side of town. Just those 2 big rigs that passed by. Everything else around the county also looking pretty good to start off your Friday. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
This morning, one of the men accused of killing 5-year-old Kason Guyton is set to appear before a judge. It was a murder that shocked our community, but one man is still wanted in connection to this case. 17's Olivia LaVoice has more.
It's an investigation spanning over numerous agencies and involving a massive raid targeting the gang believed to have harbored the secrets of the men who killed a child. It all started on a Thursday night in February 2017. 5-year-old Kason Guyton was in the back seat of his mother's boyfriend's car, sitting next to his 7-year-old brother when both boys were shot on California Avenue.
This is very tough for me.
As a fairly new police chief, Lyle Martin left his home and rushed to the hospital after getting the call.
Watching a 7-year-old get pain medication for a bullet wound is ridiculous.
Kason's brother survived, but woke up to news that seems unfathomable for a child to comprehend.
I made it perfectly clear to that family, and I'm making it perfectly clear to this community that these types of acts of violence and cowardice will not be tolerated.
I promised this community that we would put every resource towards solving this homicide. And I discussed my disgust with having to talk to a 7-year-old about being shot.
2.5 years later, Chief Martin was again emotional, but this time he held back tears of pride for his investigators who didn't give up.
Detective Gavin, his work, I can't even tell you how proud we are of him, but many people worked many hours on this case.
That's something we saw firsthand. Long before homicide supervisor and prosecutor Eric Smith got a grand jury to indict 2 suspects, Bakersfield PD pulled out all the stops to close the case. There was an immediate increase in patrol, taking illegal guns off the streets. Rewards were raised for Kason's case, and a tip line was set up. The FBI was brought in for a massive operation nicknamed Blind Mice, targeting the suspects and the gang believed to be responsible for the killing.
Murder was committed to benefit the West Side Crips.
After Kason's murder, the West Side Crips seemingly had a bullseye on their backs. In December 2017, 49 members of the gang were arrested by the feds and police for various gang-related crimes. 2 of the men arrested had been on law enforcement's radar for Kason's murder essentially from day one. Jonathan Knight and Jeremy King, each with extensive criminal records. But both bailed out soon after the raid, though police never stopped looking into them. Jonathan Knight didn't exactly keep a low profile. Just last month, Knight was one of nearly a dozen alleged gang members arrested following a big shootout in the typically peaceful Quailwood neighborhood, where more than 60 shell casings were left behind. Knight was already in custody, accused in that shooting, when he was charged with 12 additional felonies, including the Kaysen-Guyton murder and the attempted murder of Kaysen's mother's boyfriend. King has an arrest warrant out for 8 felony charges, including the murder. Meanwhile, this isn't the first time a member of Jeremy King's family has been charged in a gang-related shooting that could have easily taken out an innocent, unintended target. King's brother, Jarvis Naff, is currently in prison, convicted of several counts of attempted murder in a shooting at Chuck E. Cheese in 2016. At the time of Kaysen's murder, he was in the back of a car driven by a documented Eastside Crip. But Kaysen's biological father, Brian Guyton, is a minister who called for unity the day after his son was killed.
Prayed harder than any 5-year-old I ever knew. Just a solid individual, definitely was raised him to be a solid individual, somebody to be different, set apart from society, someone to make a difference.
Here's another look at Jeremy King. If you know where he is, BPD urges you to call 327-7111, or you can remain anonymous by calling the secret witness hotline. That number is 322-4040.
The Bakersfield Police Department is looking for a missing teenager. Celine Sanchez Rivera was last seen just after 7 o'clock on Wednesday morning in the area of Cottonwood Road and Carver Street in South Bakersfield. Sanchez Rivera has been described as Hispanic, 17-year-old girl, about 5 feet 8 inches tall, 140 pounds, with long black hair and brown eyes. If you have information about her location, call police at 327-7111.
We have an update to a story about a local gynecologist who has previously been disciplined by the state medical board. As we've now learned, Dr. Jason Helliwell is charged with 31 felony counts. Court records show those charges include conspiracy to commit a crime, making false statements for health benefits, and grand theft of property. The records also state that Dr. Helliwell was charged Wednesday of last week. According to court records, bail was set at $300,000, and he's since bailed out of jail. In July of last year, we told you a state medical board accusation showed the gynecologist and cosmetic surgeon was accused of sexual misconduct and negligence. According to the medical board's decision, Dr. Jason Helliwell was placed on probation for 3.5 years following those allegations. His probation prohibited him from practicing cosmetic surgery, with the exception of 4 procedures, including liposuction and vaginal reconstruction. The decision also requires a third party be in the room while Helliwell treats female patients. Dr. Helliwell is scheduled to be arraigned Monday, September 23rd.
A Tehachapi woman charged with killing her ex-husband is out of jail 1 day after the judge cut her bail in half. Police say Wendy Howard shot and killed her ex-husband, Kelly Pitts, on June 5th. Court documents reveal it happened after Howard reported Pitts to police for allegedly molesting their 16-year-old daughter. During the argument, Howard says Pitts drove his quad toward her and ran over her foot. She claims she felt threatened and shot him. On Wednesday, a judge reduced Howard's bail from $1 million to just $500,000. Her family worked tirelessly to raise awareness about her case and raised funds for her release while she awaits trial.
We now know the identities of the nearly 36 people who died in the Conception boat fire. DNA testing helped identify all 34 people who perished in the Labor Day tragedy. 5 people survived, all of them crew members. Investigators say the victims appeared to have died from smoke inhalation. The youngest was 16, the oldest 62 years old. Yesterday, the NTSB also released its preliminary report on the fire. It says all 6 crew members were asleep when the fire broke out. That's a violation of the Coast Guard's rules. Boats like the Conception are required to have a crew member keep watch at night. Federal authorities are conducting a criminal investigation into the deadly fire.
The Golden State is looking to tighten rules about kids using social media. Yesterday, the state Senate voted to require social media companies to get parental consent before letting a user under the age of 13 make an account. Federal law already requires parents to give social media companies the okay before collecting or selling data. That's why most social media sites ban kids under age 13 from making an account. The bill now heads to the state assembly. Today is the deadline for lawmakers to pass any legislation they hope to see on the governor's desk this session.
Still ahead this morning on Sunrise, the case against one of the Bakersfield assistant police chiefs is headed to Kings County. The reason BPD says the DA in another jurisdiction will take over.
Plus, the top 10 took the stage and things got pretty heated. Coming up in about 20 minutes, we'll recap the Democratic debates. And then at 6:30, our 17 News political analyst will join us to break down what happened in Houston.
The CBD craze is turning up everywhere. One Las Vegas nail salon is now offering CBD-infused pedicures. CBD is a compound found in cannabis, but it does not produce a high like THC. Clients say the unique pedicures help them relieve chronic pain, reduce inflammation, and treat various skin conditions.
Relieves your muscle aches. If you're on your feet all day at work, it just takes all that away.
We had so many people that were excited about it. And we were getting bookings before they were even, we even launched it.
The pedicure costs clients $65 plus tip, of course. Hair loss can have a devastating impact on a woman's emotional well-being, but when it comes to dealing with it, few options exist. So a Texas hair salon owner set out to make a difference. Bianca Castro reports.
Renata Salon isn't your ordinary hair salon. It's a destination for women and girls living with hair loss.
Once you find that you can have any hair you want, you can have your dream hair, then you start to realize, oh, okay, this can be actually kind of fun.
Salon owner Lauren Jackson set out to make it fun when she transformed this suite into a wig salon. Here, she customizes her own line of hair pieces to each woman in her salon chair. Full wigs, toppers, color, and cut, all meant to restore the natural confidence her client may have lost, a feeling Lauren knows well.
When I started losing my hair, I was completely devastated.
Still in her 30s, Lauren was diagnosed with alopecia areata. It's a common autoimmune skin condition that causes bald spots.
I went into a depression. You know, I mean, if I'm really honest with you, I wanted to run as far away as I possibly could from anything that had to do with hair.
There is no cure for alopecia areata, which isn't as common as traditional female pattern baldness. Doctors say a shift in hormones, like during pregnancy or menopause, may result in female hair loss, but the real cause isn't known.
It's a little embarrassing for someone to come talk about it, but I think once they know that the incidence of it is actually pretty high, and if they were to talk about it, they realize how many women are actually going through the same thing.
Lauren says she came to that realization when she posted about her alopecia on Instagram and heard from hundreds of other women. And when she says she couldn't find a wig that didn't look wiggy, in her words, she launched her own line, Faux Hair Don't Care.
It's been life-changing for me knowing that I'm helping other people find their way and just find an option.
Like the option of feeling pretty, no matter the style.
Do you feel like Barbie?
Yes.
You look like Barbie, but prettier.
There isn't a cure for alopecia. Doctors said the most effective treatment is topical solutions like Rogaine.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. Old Navy seems to be doing well because the retailer plans to open hundreds of new stores, 800 to be exact. The retailer already has about 1,200 stores, but it says it wants to open stores in smaller, underserved markets. No word on when the new stores may open. Gap, which owns Old Navy, says it has plans to spin off Old Navy into a public company next year. Old Navy sales made up nearly half of Gap, $16.6 billion of sales last year. And just weeks after Apple and Amazon, or after Apple, Amazon plans to hold a big product launch event. Details are being kept a secret, but it's scheduled to happen on September 25th in Seattle. Tech experts predict Amazon could reveal new Echo devices and other gadgets or services. At an event last September, Amazon announced a long list of new Echo and Echo-related devices. Well, are you familiar with hacks? Not the kind where someone messes with your computer, but the kind that makes doing something a bit easier. Here are some examples of hacks you can use around the house. Here's money expert Stacey Johnson.
Modern life is not easy, so it's nice to find simple ways to make things just a little smoother.
They're called hacks, things that make your life just a little bit easier, and I bet you there's some that you won't know. Let's start with this one right here. Ever pull aluminum foil out and the whole thing comes out? That's because you didn't use the little tabs on the end that keep that foil in place. If you're like most people, you eat your Greek yogurt, you go like this. You take your yogurt, you put it in here. No. This is made to go like this. That's why it's there. Here's most people. They're stirring spaghetti sauce. They put the dirty spoon on the counter. Here's you, though. You use the built-in spoon holder that comes with every pot. When you're in a fast food place, you get these little shot glasses of ketchup. You end up juggling a whole bunch of them when you could just be pulling one open like that and holding 2 or 3 times as much ketchup in it. You've got a clog. There's 2 kinds of plungers. This one here is for your sink. This one here, notice the taper, that's for your toilet. Can't keep your straw in your soda? Well, then maybe you should use the built-in straw holder. And here's your final hack, extension cords. You usually join 2 like this, and next thing you know, they're coming apart. Here's how you could do it, though. You could just tie a simple little knot like that, put them back together, and they will never come apart again. And there you have it.
Simple hacks that can make your life a little easier. Would you like more? Well, they're waiting for you at MoneyTalksNews.com. Just do a search for household hacks. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson. Money Talks is brought to you by your local consumer credit counseling service. If you've got debt problems or just want some free budget counseling, call today.
Kevin can't wait to use that straw holder trick.
Yeah, all right. Guess the more you know.
That's how he's going to drink his Monster every morning.
No,
from now
Rockstar.
on. Oh, I'm
it's
sorry.
a Rockstar. He's not even here to defend himself. Sorry, Kev.